Hello and welcome back again. Now, the tool I explained briefly in the last video, well, I dug it out of my tool bag and I found a sample piece that I made with it, and I always keep that handy to explain it to people, especially when I'm not near a forge. But anyways, this is the tool I was talking about. This is my bending jig. This is the one that everybody at the blacksmith club I belong to, which is the Western Reserve Artist Blacksmith Association, everybody sees this, they go, wow, that's cool, where'd you get it, man? How'd you make it? To tell you the truth, I didn't make it. I bought this. 2005, I was at SOFA. Sunday afternoon, everybody's packing up, getting ready to go home, looking for last minute deals. The guy that I bought this from, he's a member of the Michigan Artists Blacksmith Association. And that's about all the credit I can give you, because I don't remember the guy's name. I mean, geez, this was over 14 years ago when I bought this tool. And I've never seen another one like it yet. Quite a unique tool. It's 2-inch square tube, 1/4 inch thick wall. There are 4 pieces of metal tubing, appear to be drawn over mandrel, not standard black iron pipe, although I imagine if you make this you could use black iron pipe. I certainly wouldn't use galvanized. On top we have 2 hefty, turn so you can see the pins here, 2 hefty bending pins, and of course they are, I don't know if you can see down in there, but they're blind welded. So in other words, on either side of this pin there's an arc weld that runs the length of the pin, and that pin goes down in there as far as it sticks up. So whoever welded these, they're a whiz at it. They can weld far better than I can. On the side we have the scroll catch. I don't know if that's what he called it, but this is what I call it. There's 4 different size tubings on here. I'll go through them. This is 1 5/8. This one's 1 1/4. This one is 1 inch. And the scroll catch is also made from a piece of 1-inch tubing welded onto a, looks like 5/16 flat bar with a slot milled in it, secured by a 5/16 hex bolt. And then the last one is 3/4 inch in diameter. And that's basically the tool in a nutshell. Now, like I said earlier, the way I use this thing, first thing I will do, I will preset this for the thickness of the taper I'm going to stick through here, and get it ready for the scroll catch or loop catch, as you'll see here in a minute. Now what I do is, if I can get this right on camera, okay, kinda, yeah, it doesn't fit very well now that it's cold, but as you can see, this part here gets quenched, and then the rest of it loops around, and I will loop it around in such a fashion that, like I said, this will look like the letter P. Then as soon as I do that, okay, it'll be in the vise like this on its side. As soon as I do that, crack the vise open a 1/4 turn, stand it up, tighten it back up a 1/4 turn, and immediately drop in and hook it kind of like that, and then just there, now you can see better, just pull back until it looks good, and This is how I make S-hooks, fireplace broom handles. And the reason why it's offset like it is, I'll show you with this wrench handle. It hangs perfectly on the center line. The shaft hangs straight down. Now at the bottom, I would use this style for a J-hook. And the reason why that's not offset, because see, if I were to make an S-hook like that, now see how the shaft hangs off at an angle? Yeah, so unless you offset that back a little and come around, your hook will not hang straight down. Unless, of course, you've got where the S comes around and immediately, without any twist or decoration in the middle here, this is a once time around twist. The next one here, this is 1.5 in the opposite direction. And then, of course, on my sample piece, we went once around back in the normal direction. And the reason why I made this hook with 2 different ends, this is basically my sample piece. People ask me, what do you do for blacksmithing? I go, well, I make decorative S-hooks, put twists in things. Oh, really? Can I see? Yeah, I mean, it's not very handy to carry around, but if I do happen to have it with me in the car or, you know, in my backpack or whatever, I can pull it out and show them, yeah, this is kind of what I do. And in case you're wondering about the facets in the middle of the bar, this is 5/16 hex stock. One of the club members donated a whole bunch of this stuff, and for the longest time, everybody and his neighbor was making S-hooks out of 5/16. And it's really nice because the thing about blacksmithing is the more facets you add to your ironwork, the more it catches the light. And of course, to make the loop up top on here, my scrolling pliers. These were part of a tong kit that I bought from Ken's Custom Iron. And basically I left the handles plain, as is. I may decorate them, forge them out a little more, you know, make them a little more comfortable to use, but just to get them up and going, because the other pliers that I normally use, these ones, these are Harbor Freight snap ring pliers. Well, as you can, I don't know if you can see it or not in the video, but see how my hands, yeah, they weren't like that when they were brand new. These aren't meant to have a twisting fork applied to that joint. So yeah, they've gotten loose and wobbly, and I'm afraid one of these days when I go to make a scroll, I'm going to snap, because the small loops, like I like to make, well, that's down here on the very end of the plier. So you got all that torque being applied down the length of these shafts here to this, I guess it's a box joint, whatever. So these are in the process of being phased out. I don't know what I'm going to do with those just yet. But this is my sample piece. And while we're on the subject of different tools, of course, every blacksmith is guilty of having one of these in their toolbox. Plain old vice grips. Well, these are a cheap knockoff. It came as part of a set of another pair of vice grips. Yeah, for $4.99 at Tractor Supply in their clearance bin, it came with this pair. Yeah, these came together zip tied. $4.99 in the clearance bin. Needless to say, they found a home in my tool bucket. Now, as you notice, these have a weird, funky offset jaw. Kind of like another pair of pliers I own, which are actual vice grip pliers. And as you see, there comes with pretty gnarly teeth inside. Well, this next pair of vice grips I'm going to show you, vice grip brand, made by the Peterson Company. This was before Irwin took them over. We have don't know if you can see it there. Yeah, LC12 stands for long curved vice grips, 12 inches. So it's got the long curved jaws. The whole vice grip is 12 inches long. And as you can see, these have seen the inside of a forge quite a bit. And how, well, remember all those gnarly teeth that were on the other one? Yeah, you can see I ground most of those off, and I also modified the jaws. They're not flat anymore. They actually have a radius groove down the middle. And that's really nice because now I'll adjust it here. There. See? Nice and tight. I can hold round, I can hold square, some rectangle, if it's provided it's not too wide, but I can hold just about any shape I want in these. And they started out, I mean, this is the off-brand version of it. Not quite as long and not quite as curved, but who knows, someday these may get modified into a tong. Now, before everybody thinks I don't have regular tongs and I cheat and use vice grips all the time, trust me, I've got yeah, see? I have regular tongs too. I've got a pair of gooseneck, regular bolt jaw, pair of pickup tongs. Just some of the many tongs that I have, so yeah, they can't say that I cheat and just use only vice grips. However, vice grips, they do have. Now Irwin, after they bought out vice grip, it came out with these. Now these are, when I first saw these, they were packaged in a clamshell with a piece of cardboard, and there was actually a hex nut packaged with them. Yes, these are designed to grip hex nuts. Not round off hex nuts, actually grip hex nuts. Well, the first thing that came to mind was, I have little stamps. Try holding this above nice hot ironwork. Yeah, even Kevlar gloves won't save your fingers. But clamp them in. Guess what? Now you can hold, your hand is now away from the hot iron that's under here, and you can hit it with the hammer. This is a small version. They may also make a larger version. This, yeah, holds chisels really nice. If you got short ones and you're working under a treadle hammer, guaranteed your fingers are not going to get smashed. Because when you're working a treadle hammer, your hand is well away from where that 60 or 80 or however heavy treadle on your hammer is. Trust me, you're not going to mash your fingers. Even if for some reason the safety stop or whatever you use to prevent your hands from getting smashed while working under the treadle hammer. Me, I want to keep these. I start the working day with them. I start the working day with these. I'm going to make sure I go home at the end of the working day with both eyes working and all 10 digits. See, there's the other 5. The toes, well, yeah, they tend to attract things like hammers, punches, wrenches, yeah. And I have a thing about wearing steel-toed boots. I should have worn, was it, oh God, 19 years ago I was working in a factory. And I dropped a hockey puck sized chunk of steel that was part of a tool set for a forge press. Yeah. 5-pound chunk ricocheted off the big toe and the toe next to it. Yeah. That hurt. That didn't tickle. That absolutely flipping hurt. So, that's some of the tools that I have. Originally I was just going to demonstrate the bending jig, but then I thought, well, got all these other tools laying out now that I had to dig them out of the bucket to get to the bending jig, I thought I might as well show you those too. So just a few of the handy dandy things that Frank uses in his workshop. Trust me, I've got like 3 buckets of tools, a tool bag full of tools, and another small handbag full of punches, ball punches, and assorted whatnot and other gizmos. Yeah. And of course, when I go blacksmithing at the club, usually I wind up making just S-hooks, you know, the broom handle with the hook on the end of it. You know, something quick. One thing that I don't have any right now, but another thing that we make as a quick demonstration piece is take a number 16 horseshoe nail, which is about 3.5 inches long. If you look on my channel under the horseshoe nail video, you'll see me make one of these things. And in as little time as it takes me to make one of those, people have such a short attention span. That's why when I'm working on something, if they want to see something made really quick, set that project aside for a second, grab a horseshoe nail, throw it in, whap it out, and they're amazed that how we're able to transform things from one thing to another. And I know I haven't said this in any of my videos, but blacksmiths were accused of being sorcerers or magicians because we master the 4 elements: earth, wind, fire, water. Also, we've been accused of being friends with the devil because we're able to work and manipulate fire so well. So that's all I have for now. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and we'll get to you on the next one. Bye.